Hi, everybody. Okay, so I watched two movies over the weekend that I'm going to do videos about. And I'm trying to do something new. I'm trying to watch videos or movies I've never seen before so I get a totally new perspective. So that's my new thing for the couple for this month and maybe next month. Um, okay, so The Way We Were was made in 1973, stars Barbara Streisand and Robert Redford. And an interesting thing about the movie is that Robert Redford did not want to be in the movie. He turned down the role twice. And I am giving you a fresh perspective because, like I said, I'd never seen it before. So when I saw it, I said, I don't know if these two people like each other. So I went from that vein. Um, okay, so they play Katie and Hubble, and Katie is very politically minded, very much for freedom of speech and freedom of everything, and she's willing to fight for what she wants. And Hubble just wants to live peaceful, and he's willing to fight for his country, but he doesn't want to fight a lot. So I think that she's attracted to him more than he is to her. And he likes the fact that it's kind of a double edged sword. He likes the fact that she has a mind of her own, but then he ultimately doesn't like the fact that she has a mind of her own because, like I said, she fights a lot and she pushes people to be better than they are. She wants more for people than maybe they want for themselves. And what ultimately broke them up was he had, I don't know if he had an affair with another woman, but he spent time with another woman and she found out about it. And he was like, "What's the big deal?" And she was like, "Excuse me, we're together. You shouldn't be spending time with somebody that you know I don't like." And also, apparently, he went to a place where they had been before. Katie and Hubble had been with the other woman, so she didn't take too kindly to that. So there was a lot, and then you see them a couple years later after the divorce and everything, and this is New York, so I think New York is the only place you can actually run into an ex, although it's supposed to have 8 million people or something like that. So they meet each other on a street, and he says, "How you doing? How's it been? Whatever." And she says, "Oh yeah, it's good. I'm married again." And he says, "Oh well, how is he with our daughter?" Because they had a little daughter before they got divorced. And she says, "Oh, he's great with her, yada yada yada." So then she asked him, "How's he doing?" He has another girl on his arm, and of course, he says, "Well, it's good and everything. We're good." And and then he says the last line of the film is, he says, "Well," she says, "Why don't you invite your friend and we'll have drinks and stuff together?" And he says, he leans in real close and he says, "I can't do that because there's a kind of bond that I've been talking about a couple times of." There's a kind of bond that you only have with a certain amount of people in your life. And once you have that kind of bond, you can never be with somebody like that again. And you don't want to share what you have with a person with other people because you understand that they won't understand the kind of thing that you have. That it's not, it doesn't necessarily have to be intimate, but once you've reached a certain level of comfort and like all that stuff with somebody, you can never share it with somebody else. So I took it as, okay, they may be exes now, the characters may be exes now, but they'll always share that something. And to try to explain it with somebody else, you can never explain it. So, like, it just would be weird if you spent any time together with that person and another person, because the other person would know that there's something else going on, but wouldn't know what it is. And there's no way to verbalize it without sounding strange, you know? If you say to somebody, well, we have a bond, but you'll never get it, they're like, okay, well, but why can't you talk about it? And then inevitably, I think one person will get mad at the other person for having that kind of bond with somebody, but you can't really blame the person because as people, we don't go around in the world, I don't think, looking for that bond. And then when you find it, it's very rare. And it's kind of, on the inside that you'll never be able to really achieve it with somebody else. And you'll definitely not be able to explain it at all to somebody else. So then you get to the point where you give up trying because it's like they'll never understand anyway. But then the point is the other person will never understand whatever you try to tell them anyway, because they'll take it as, why do you have that kind of bond with that person and not me? So then jealousy will ensue, and it goes downhill from there. But as a political movie and as a person and as a thing trying to get movement in the area, I liked it for that. And I like that the characters are strong in their beliefs. But I wish that, well, number one, as a woman, I wish another woman could have been strong and the guy tried to understand her. But then also, I wish the guy would have been a little stronger in his beliefs, whatever, than just being lackadaisical about the whole thing. So, kind of appreciate it and not appreciate at the same time. So that's where I am with this film. Now, granted, I might watch this film again in a couple of years, like I do with some things. It may change my opinion slightly, but I don't know. We'll have to see if that happens. All right. Bye, everybody.